How's it going, speedsters, vigilantes, and whatever else? Because this is a double show kind of information kind of video. So if you didn't know already, TVLine have got a couple of photos of the new seasons of Arrow, Flash, Black Lightning, but they also got a little bit of information alongside it. So what I want to do is go over these, have a little bit of a discussion about it. It's not massive amount of stuff to go over, but I'll take any freaking nugget of stuff I can get in terms of the shows coming back in, well, not too long away at all, so it's just right around the corner. So before we get into this, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on a single DC TV, comic book nerdy, whatever blurdy update, and be sure to go on and hit that like button only if you do go ahead and enjoy the video, as I'd just really appreciate it because it helps the video out. So the first photo we're looking at today is a photo of Diggle kind of pointing at Curtis, Renee, and Felicity. The kind of impression you get from this is just he seems to be, I don't know, giving them a talk. It kind of looks like a stern talk because the way Wild Dog is looking at him and Felicity, they kind of look a bit like, what? What's going on? And especially Curtis, he just seems perplexed. But this is what TVLine had to say about this kind of whole piece. What excites new showrunner Beth Schwartz most about having Oliver behind bars, shoulder to shoulder with many of the baddies he bested in the past, is they're all on the same playing field. But wanting to be a model inmate and not make waves, Oliver will need to make different moral choices because of the position he is in. Of course, since Oliver is the one who brokered the deal that traded his freedom for the feds' help against Diaz, keeping wife Felicity in the dark, he's going to learn that might not have been the best idea. On the villain front, Diaz will resurface as more of the Dragon comic book character he's based on, while the Longbow Hunters, an almost mythical band of assassins, will prove they are in fact quite real. As for Colton Haynes' return as a series regular, Schwartz will only affirm that he is definitely playing the Earth 1 Roy Harper that we know and Thea loves, or brackets loved. So that's very interesting, yeah, because I heard some theories recently of people saying, oh, what if Roy is having the clone storyline? And that didn't actually appeal to me, but I did think for a second, wow, would they do that? For I don't know how, or I don't know why. It would be too a bit grand in terms of what they've done with Roy's setup. I mean, who would really know about him to want to clone him in terms of a Young Justice kind of style? Like, he hasn't been on the Young Justice Roy level recently kind of thing. But who knows? I'm really excited for that. And in terms of what they had to say about keeping wife Felicity in the dark, and he's going to learn that may have not been the best idea. I think Felicity's going to be obviously suffering the most with the fact that she didn't have any say in the matter. I think that's going to be obvious, but we also saw Felicity in the trailer beaten up. Obviously, well, it's not obvious because we don't know for sure, but it does seem like it's from Diaz. I love the fact that they teased us with, you know, Diaz will resurface more of the Dragon comic book version rather than just the Ricardo Diaz. Imagine, like, because the whole season he was just known as Diaz or like Ricardo Diaz. I really, really want them to call him, like, you know, Richard Dragon or just the Dragon or something like that. That would be amazing. And this is really good teasing, I think, here, because just saying stuff like that really hypes me up. I'm super excited for this season of Arrow. And what they have to say for bonus spoiler is, know how we previously reported that Felicity is coping the worst in the wake of Oliver's imprisonment. Well, guess who is faring the best? I would say Laurel Schwartz shares, confirming that the team's Earth 2 frenemy is now Star City's DA. So yeah, I should have read that bit out early because we were just talking about how Felicity is coping the worst with obviously Oliver being behind bars. Freaking Black Siren as DA. I mean, I know, like, obviously they set that up with her taking over Laurel's, you know, her actually being alive on Earth 1 kind of persona. It is kind of funny because in reality, she would have a shit ton of stuff to do daily that she couldn't get away with if she was faking being a DA. I know they used some kind of reason, or like she was going to read a book or something like that to get up to scratch, but maybe I'm being too picky here, but I think they need to address how maybe in the past 6 months she's caught up on law work insanely so, because otherwise how will people not figure out that this DA doesn't know what the F she's doing? The Flash, ladies and gentlemen, this looks like a nice little family photo of Barry. We have Nora there and Iris. Now, what we do know already is that Nora's not really going to be so into Iris. Like, she's going to be a daddy's girl. But here, it doesn't really look like that. Obviously, this is just a still screenshot. It's not really going to say anything. They're all looking at something. It'd be super interesting if it was like a hologram of a future picture of them raising Nora as a kid or something like that. And I don't know if Barry, at what point Barry would disappear. But super interesting. Obviously looking at something funny. I don't know. But the Flash scoop is actually really informative. Because this is what TVLine has to say. New big bad Cicada, American Pie's Chris Klein isn't too concerned with the Scarlet Speedster. His endgame isn't about the Flash. It's more of a bigger scale issue, executive producer Todd Helbing notes. But he will impact Barry and co. And a big part of the story of this season is about the metas, where they got their powers from. And it's tied into everybody's journey this year. For example, I'm guessing like Caitlin. Cicada's powers are different than DeVoe's, and any of the speedsters in the way they affect our team. Elsewhere, Nora's presence starts to have a little strain on her parents' relationship. Iris and Barry become second to mum and dad, Helbing explains. Meanwhile, Cisco is having a difficult time getting over his breakup with Gypsy. Caitlin searches for her Killer Frost origins, and Ralph struggles to earn the respect of the city as a superhero. I know that sounds very interesting, but the bonus spoiler is the newest Wells, Sherlock Wells, is a master detective from a different Earth, Helbing describes, and he's come to help the team track down Cicada. He's pretty much awesome at his job, and Ralph doesn't take too kindly to somebody that has skills that may or may not be better than his. Plus, Sherlock will get a lady love, which is very, I know I say interesting all the time, right? But it is interesting. So that is something we have learned, and we've kind of known at the same time with Cicada isn't like his crosshairs aren't completely on the Flash. His kind of motivations with what the vibe we're all getting here is the Flash didn't necessarily, I don't think, cause his family's death. Who knows, it might have something to do with the satellite incident. But I think maybe something else also happened on a separate incident, maybe, that involved metahumans, to the point where now a couple of things might have happened that destroyed his family. He blames metahumans and he wants to wipe them out. I think that is what they're teasing in terms of the end goal. In terms of what Todd Helbing says here, his end game isn't about the Flash. It's more of a bigger scale issue. The bigger scale issue, guys, has got to be the metahumans. I think he wants to eradicate them all despite potentially being one. I guess maybe he loathes himself too, but it's a necessary evil for himself to use his powers against metahumans, which, Todd Helbing says here is different than the Speedsters and DeVoe's, and affects the team in a way that none of the other villains have before. So I'm super excited about that, and I can't wait to see what Cicada does in terms of eliminating metahumans. Obviously, it's got something to do with the lightning bolt dagger. Is he harnessing energy from each meta he kills? Is the way he's using the Flash this season kind of like the comic books in how he kills people the Flash is saved, or metahumans that he saved? I don't know. That's getting a bit too upside down there. But now moving on to the Iris and Barry kind of thing. There's a strain on their relationship. Of course, we've kind of heard this before. When your daughter pops up, similar age than you are, and stuff like that, it's going to be difficult, obviously, and especially with what we know that Barry learns that he isn't around in the future, which is pretty much a given. I think also with the strain of Nora's relationship with Iris, and Iris obviously never seeing Nora before this, let alone giving birth to her, we'll find it hard to think, what have I done that my daughter doesn't like me? I don't want to be like that. I had a difficult relationship with my mother, so she's going to be hurt, especially seeing like her and her father get along so well as well. So that's going to be quite a bit of torture for Iris. I do feel a bit sorry for Ralph here, where, I mean, think about it, Ralph Dibny's detective skills are almost on par with Batman, so I think that's why they said may or may not, because if you know Ralph Dibny's character, you know that he's an insane detective. But obviously Sherlock is going to be on a level playing field here. So I can't wait to see that. And a lady love for Sherlock as well. Who could that be? Is it a new character? I can't think of anyone existing off the top of my head who would get with Sherlock Wells. So maybe the lady love is from the Earth that he's from, or who knows, it will be somebody on Earth 1. Now, there has been a Black Lightning trailer that came out recently. I didn't actually have time to go over it, but let me know in the comments down below if you do. But they do have a photo of Tobias Whale here. Not really too much to say, apart from obviously he's going to be even more prominent in the second season, and I feel like that's why we got this photo. I mean, obviously these photos aren't going to give away much anyway, but in terms of what they had to say on it, so Black Lightning, the title of Season 2's opening arc, The Book of Consequences, Rise of the green light babies. Tells you pretty much all you need to know about the superhero drama's sophomore run, which picks up just a week after the events of the finale, which is very interesting. Per showrunner Salim Akil, we're going to deal with the consequences of having discovered the pod children, the consequences of Greenlight hitting the streets, and the consequences of Jefferson's daughters discovering they have powers, which I cannot wait for. Black Lightning himself remains in a win and lose situation, seeing as how the Greenlight babies and the mayhem they will make will keep some Freelanders wary of their metahuman powered vigilante. Tobias Well, last seen beaming over a mysterious gleaming briefcase, still clutches onto a two-pronged agenda: kill Black Lightning, take over Freeland. And in the first episode, you'll see exactly what motivates him to burn the city down. As he says, on the personal front, Akil says that, and this is new relationship with Grace Choi, or Koi, I don't know how to pronounce that, will make for really, really good drama, while Jennifer will juggle the ideal of Khalil's redemption, which is interesting, with the fact that as a painkiller, her ex briefly killed her dad, which is actually very, very true. I didn't know if Khalil would be a main character so much in the second season. I don't know. That's the only thing. I loved Black Lightning season 1, but I just felt like he was just flexing too much all the time. I don't know if you got that vibe or not. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just didn't really take him all that too seriously. I don't know if it's the actor. I've seen that actor in other things as well. But yeah, a redemption. I hope it's good. I hope it keeps me engaged. I'm sure it will be, because Jennifer, I really like Jennifer. I love her powers. I really like Anissa's powers, but I think Jennifer's just intrigued me a bit more. I'm glad that they've kind of not done what CW shows traditionally do. It's like villain, each season. Now Arrow are actually doing kind of what Black Lightning done. They've kept Ricardo Diaz on, and they're actually developing him more into the dragon character, like we just spoke about. Now Tobias Whale is still going to be very much so in season 2, and if not more of a threat than ever with how season 1 ended. So this all sounds amazing, guys. Bonus spoiler: as first reported by TVLine, Black Lightning will be introducing the DC Comics character of Looker, to be played by medium alum/Supergirl guest star Sofia Vassilieva. I cannot say that name. They're bringing Vampire to DC TV, which there's nothing wrong with that technically, because that is the way it's been done in DC before. But you know, I just hope that it fits. I'm sure it will with the way they're going to do it, but I'm intrigued. I'm really, really intrigued. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video there. Let me know what you thought of everything I read out today and what I discussed about it. Let me know your theories and thoughts on what you think can happen based on this information and what I said. Maybe do you agree with what I said? Are you excited for the same things I am? Other than that, everybody, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with all comic book nerdy stuff like this. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you haven't done so already. It really does help, I guess, get it out there in the YouTube algorithm that is forever mysterious. Be sure to click the links in the description. You can check out my merch. Thank you to those who have picked up some to support the channel already. I really do appreciate it. Of course, my Patreon and my social media is there as well. But other than that, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.